There's certain things like as simple as nail polish. I learned he doesn't like blue nail polish. So he's like, I don't like that. I'm like, okay. And he literally was calling different nail salons so we could get it changed.
You already know what time it is. We're here to give you guys a Ready to Love review. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe. For those of you who are returnees, you ain't got the minerals, baby. You ain't got the minerals, man. Listen, hey, gay. Are you ready? You ready? You lean. Listen, woo, Chile. If you can't handle the heat in the kitchen, get out. Woo, Chile. If you can't handle the heat in the kitchen, get out. You know what I'm saying? Don't make that boy error. Listen, you're mad, you lean. Let's get into the video, brother.
You know, because I'm not sure.
You're ready now? Like,
Are you insinuating that I wasn't ready?
yeah, I'm insinuating that you weren't ready.
Hold on.
I mean, the first thing we got introduced to actually was she just looks like a very pleasant ex. I wasn't at first. I got confused. I was like, is this wife? It's not. It's an ex. She's a very pleasant ex. Evidently, you know, they discussed a lot of. It looks like they discussed a few things. The blue nail polish. But what really caught my eye, obviously, was the fact that they mentioned in the beginning that he wasn't ready for marriage. And that was really interesting because obviously, you know, he's really spoken the fact quite, you know, candidly that, you know, he wants to get married again and he's ready for that kind of stuff. So, you know, we're seeing something that what happened with this particular ex, that he wasn't ready for marriage, that he's ready now. And not only that, it seems, I don't know, the ex seems quite malleable, quite calm. That sounds like what he needs. I don't know, but it sounds like that's what he needs. And the reason why I said obviously I believe also that the ex is quite malleable and quite calm and quite cool is the way that she actually introduced herself to Tondi.
Sure, this is Tondi.
Tasha, Tondi, pleasure to meet you.
Beautiful.
So are you, lady. Thank you.
And that may be as well an aspect in the fact that she actually broke off the relationship. You see, when you break it off, you have the power, and you always feel a bit better because you break it off. Do you get what I mean? So, not saying that that was on her mind, but you know, she broke it off because obviously various reasons. But the way that she introduced Tondi, I don't remember anyone else doing that because everyone else shook hands. But she actually gave a hug to Tondi. A big difference. She gave a hug to Tondi. You know, it was very warm, very endearing, very welcoming. And actually, you know what? I know Tondi must have felt a bit more at ease when that hug came through. Not only that, it kind of showed a little bit that the girl was on your side. Because everyone else is handshaking like this is business. And it's not business, it's life. Real life, relationship life. So that was quite interesting to see.
Mario moves. How long ago did you all date?
December or was it January?
You broke up with me in December.
Oh, you broke up with him?
Yeah.
Tondi obviously asked, when did you guys break up? What was interesting was the fact that the girl said, maybe like, you know, December, January, and Mario said straight away, December. So in Mario's mind, he knew exactly when they broke up. Why? Because it was painful for him. Not to say that he's right or wrong, anything like that, just to say that it's in his mind because it's painful for him. And it was something that he thinks about or has thought about, has crossed his mind heavily, right? Because for you to pinpoint the date and the girl's like, I think it was like, it's almost as if, I think it is like, it's almost like, I don't remember, I don't really care. Or, no, and I'm not saying that's what the ex was saying. I'm just saying that when you don't remember, it looks a bit like that. It often presents itself like that. When you're specific, it means that thing is imprinted in your memory. You understand? For instance, if I say, I think your name is Danielle. But if I say to you, no, I know your name is Danielle. And I say it with confidence. Why am I saying that? Because I know it's Danielle. Do you know what I mean? And I have an image in my head. I know that it's Danielle. Now the girl responds, okay, like, right, I didn't think you remember my name. I was like, no, I remember it because, and you see, because will normally come in because you've linked it to something else. Whereas for her, it's like, okay, yeah, it was that December, January time. I think it was, like, not really sure. It's not a big deal for her. You know what I mean? Not saying that she didn't think the relationship was a big thing, but it's like it's not become a big deal for her. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's gone, like it's happened. But for Mario, there was a bit of pain there. Maybe he felt like there was a bit of abandonment. Maybe he felt like he didn't want the relationship to end. Maybe he felt like, you know what, it was painful, and he's loaded that into the memory. So he said, no, it was definitely December. He knew, 100%. And that was interesting for me as well. The reason why I say it's interesting because of the way that he acts with Tondi is very hands-on. And I know, look, I know me as well, like in the way I behave. When you crave something, yeah, especially when it's women, right? When you crave women, there's a certain aspect of each individual woman that you take pieces of, right? And depending on what you're needing. And I think there's a nurturing side of Mario that he wants. He wants this nurturing side. So the physical touch comes into play when it comes to him and Tondi. They're always touching, always physical, always. That's why the quick rushing into kissing and everything happen as well. There's a nurturing side that he wants from the woman. Yeah? And it may be directly correlated to the pain that he's felt in the last relationship and the marriage. Or it could be that's his genuine love language. And that's a confusing thing. Depending on where you are in your life, depending on what's happened, the way that you request certain things. Like right now, listen, I've been broken up for a good 2 years. And the part that I miss most is not conversation as such, even though my love language is quality time conversations and words of affirmation, but the physical aspect. I find myself asking for hugs. I'm asking girls for hugs. I'm like, babe, like someone might think to say, oh, this guy probably wants sex. I don't. I want you to hug me. I want that. I want the nurturing. You get me? Why? Because that's what I miss. Yeah? And the loneliness that I have at the moment, the feeling of loneliness. Because I'm going to be real, when you're single, bruv, you feel it. Like and when you say it's lonely, I always tell you, it's not always that you're lonely. It's not that you're always alone. It's not that there's not suitors out there. But the situation of the crop of the field at the moment that you're feeling at the moment, not necessarily what you're wanting. So you're lonely. Do you get it? And therefore, the aspects that you miss sometimes is the nurturing side of things, especially if you're feeling pain. Yes, because I know I felt a bit of pain in my season of singleness, that there were certain things that were happening that didn't really make sense, and that I learned. I was like, bro, this is pain. And so there's a side of me that wants to be nurtured. When I say nurtured, that wants to be, you know, like when we say some men, like not even some men, you know, like Samson and Delilah. Yeah, Samson always rested his head on Delilah's knee. It's like he rested on her. He wanted to rest in her, right? There's a nurturing side that he wanted. Do you understand? And that's where a lot of guys are. They want the nurturing side, yeah? And that leads you to the kissing, the holding, the hands, the hugging, that he's doing with Tondi. And it's almost like he's rushed into it. Do you know what I'm saying? That quickness. That's the only thing I just noticed. I'm not saying that it's either or, because it could be just, like I said, he's just a physical touch person. That's his love language. But it looks like, just from hearing the ex, that it could be a little bit of pain in there. And that nurturing is to kind of help nurture him out of the pain. Do you get me? Like a plaster does a leg. Do you know what I'm saying? To stem the blow, stem the blood flow, to stem the pain flow, you've got someone there who can emotionally care for you.
Goes in like blue nail polish. So he's like, I don't like that.
Also, as well, when the blue nail polish situation came up, I noticed Mario's behavior. He's anxiously playing with the napkin, right? And I believe the reason why is because the behavior he knows sounds mad. And so the only way he's, like I said, your body gives you away. So in his mind, he's thinking to himself, flip, this is mad, this is mad, this is mad. So what's coming out is his body's now coming out and playing with the napkin anxiously. He's playing with the napkin anxiously. Obviously, then he goes on to explain the blue nail polish situation. But the reason why is because he sees Tondi's reaction to the blue nail polish thing, right? And then she's like, oh, and Tondi she's quite expressive anyway. So her body language changing 3 or 4 times tells you everything to know. She's not good at that. She's not cool with that, and it's never going to happen. And then she verbalizes it, right? Then Mario wants to also then explain, hey, wait, hold on, before you get excited, let me explain to you what the situation is. You know, I don't like that particular color. But listen, let me be honest with you. A lot of guys, especially those who are leaders within their homes, because there are certain men who like to be beaters. Nothing wrong with that. If it works for your family, let it work. A lot of men who are leaders oftentimes will say certain things within a construct of what they like and don't like. This is normal. Girls do it all the time. Yeah? I remember I was dating somebody, someone said, I like your haircuts, we cut every week. I told her, listen, darling, my paycheck don't raise like that. You understand? When it does, then I can do that for you. You get me? One thing I would always say is, if you're not willing to do, it becomes controlling. If you're not willing to give and take, it becomes controlling. Do you get what I'm saying? Because that's where I was kind of, you have to be very careful, Mario. Yeah? And I like Mario, so but I'm gonna have to be fair. In the sense of, you know, I backed him at the pool because I really did believe what he was saying at the time wasn't controlling. Because actually, he was stating certain things, but there was an aspect of control in there. Now with the blue nail polish situation, there is an aspect of control in the sense of if you don't give her the option, that's control, and that behavior needs to change. Because I may say, oh, I don't really like blue nail polish, I'm more of a red kind of person, yeah? Then that will be a case of, okay, cool, like, okay, I know he likes red, I'll wear red. She decides she wants to wear red. If she's wearing blue and you're like, don't wear blue, like, no, you're not wearing blue, in fact, go and change it now, then that becomes controlling. But in the aspects of certain things, for instance, I remember I was dating someone and it was getting cold, cuz, yeah? And she didn't want to take a jacket because she was looking fine in the dress. Listen, I said to her, you're looking fine in the dress. But I said to her, go and get a coat. She's like, no. Then I said, listen, go and get a coat now. I didn't play. And the reason why is because I can see already in the future what's going to happen. But that's a different aspect. Because that's about trying to look after someone's health. Maybe they felt like, they were looking nice. I'm not playing with that. No. No, I'm not about to give you my coat in the cold. Listen, no. Go and get a coat now. Yeah? It might have been a beef, but I don't know. But it had to be said. Do you know what I'm saying? But in terms of, for instance, I like a certain hairstyle. Like oftentimes I like braids. I like box braids. I like a natural hair. I like the fro. I like, what else do we like? I'm not really a big fan of weaves, yeah? I'm not a big fan of weaves. If it's done correctly and it looks good on you, then fine. If I don't think it fits your face, I'm going to tell you, babe, I don't think the weave really works for you. I think you should do the braids. And I did that with a partner. With one of my partners, I did that. I said, listen, I don't think the weave really works for you. I think the braids looks better for you. Do you get me? And then the girl ended up just doing braids. And I was like, yeah, babe, fine. I'm not going to force you to do it. I suggested that. I think this looks better. Do you understand? Same way you can suggest to me, oh, babes, I think the hoodie you're wearing, I don't like it. Like, can you just change for this hoodie? And I'm like, alright, cool. Like, because that's a give and take. And you're asking, you're not telling. There's a difference. Although I did tell about the coat thing. But that, when you tell and command on certain things, it becomes controlling. That's the key issue here. That's the key issue here. There are like for instance, there are times where you need to put your foot down and our partner may not like it, but you need to put your foot down. But blue nail polish is not one of them times. And that's the issue we're having.
It's just certain things that I don't like. And if I don't like it, I'm going to express it.
Ditto.
That behavior often comes from a fear or a lack of control in other areas of your life that you felt in the past. So you have to superimpose yourself on this area of life. We all do it in different strands and different ways. But I know that the reason why he was so powerful on the blue nails thing is it's linked to something. That control that you want to have over go and get it changed, etc., is linked to something. Do you get it? I'm not excusing the behavior. We don't excuse behavior. We only explain the behavior. So ladies, you don't have to take that. We're not saying take that. We're explaining where the behavior is coming from. Do you get it? Yeah. We must be a generation of men that learn how to compromise, that learn how to communicate, and learn how to love the way that God wants us to love. And so, scripturally wise, the Bible tells us that we should love the woman like Christ loved the church, which is a love of sacrifice, to die for that person. But also it means also not to coerce, to force, and to push someone into something. You love them, and there are times where the person may do something you might not like, but you have to be able to say, look, there's times where I say, look, okay, cool, let me just let her do her thing. I don't agree with it, but let me just let her do her thing. Yeah, because we're not here to force, we're not here to drag you over the line. Do you know what I mean? We're here to have a relationship and a partnership, and that's the most important thing. So effective communication. We need to be asking Mario, what is it about the blue nail polish that you don't like? Why haven't you communicated that? Because we didn't hear that. We know you don't like blue, but what is it about the blue? You know what I'm saying? What was it that got you so riled up that you decided that she had to throw all the nail salons, get it changed? What was it? Something triggered you. This is where we must learn to communicate. This is where we must learn to begin to say certain things. Look, I'll be honest with you. Recently I went through a situation where I acted out. And I was like, bro, why did I act out? And I had to go and really analyze my own individual behaviors. And when I clocked it, I was like, do you know what? This is the reason why I acted out. And I was like, if I explain this, I may look mad. Can't explain it. Then I will look crazy. And I said, do you know what? Nah, I need to explain it. And I said, I need to start explaining, because if there's certain behaviors that I act out in a certain way, I must explain it and say why I feel the way I feel. Otherwise, how can I expect the person to read my mind? I can't. So I explained it, and I know I looked slightly, the person was looking at me like I was slightly mad, and I was like, it is what it is, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? That's how I felt. But I started to realize, the moment I started to explain it, I started to feel more free. So Mario needs to explain why the hell blue nail polish is an issue, and why that situation was such a big thing. Do you get me?
Her? I know her very well, yes. I've known her for 5 years.
What?
You're friends.
That's who he's connecting with. Initially, Mario was not aware of the friendship between Riva and I, because I know we're on this journey and I didn't want to taint it, so to speak, I guess.
What was crazy was that Riva and Tondi have been friends for 5 years. Do I think it's a violation on Tondi's part to go or Riva to go after Mario? Not really. It's a game. They walked into a game, and this is what it was. If it was real life, maybe. What I do sense from Tondi is that she feels that Riva's slightly, ever so slightly, being a bit of a foot patrol stepper. What I mean by that, she's stepping on toes. Yeah. And the reason why I know that she said that is because she said, obviously, Riva.
This isn't the first time that we've been interested in the same guy, but the last guy was actually my guy at the time. She put hard eyes under his pictures, so I said something to her, and after that she unfollowed him, and so we just moved on from there.
Riva has done this in the past. When you mention someone has done this in the past, you're basically saying they're doing it now. So when she said obviously Riva's done it in the past, where they've kind of gone after the man, and commented love heart eyes underneath the picture. Yeah, and what it got me thinking was the way that the two of them are quite different, in the sense of like I said, I told you that Riva's intimacy problem is the mysteriousness and the coldness of Riva is attractive. Look, I keep telling you, we all have a lot of us have savior complexes, especially men. We want to save that chick, that femme, that is sexy but mysterious, and you don't know the full story. Yeah, so Riva exudes that. Tondi is open, frank. Can't control me, I'm about this life, wears a heart on the sleeve. When I say heart on the sleeve, I shouldn't even say it that way, but will show you open love, yeah? Whereas Riva will make it hard, and that will increase your sexual desire to chase, you know what I mean? So if someone like Riva has done this before, or Riva's doing it now, the way she's capturing Mario lets me know how she would capture a guy originally, which is through the physical body. That's why I was saying to you that in the swimming pool, that she used the body. Now, someone said obviously that they might be a little bit drunk. I said that only brings out inhibitions of what you want to do anyway. We didn't see that. We know apparently they had obviously other dates and stuff like that, so can't fully say that. But the fact that the legs were wrapped around him, and that's what we saw, it looks like the body was used as a way to communicate. And mix that with mysteriousness and not 100% can get the information out of her, bro, will always be sexy. Because we all want to try and be the person who figures somebody out. Especially if they're attractive. Just the way it is. I just think to myself it's a lot, because at the end of the day, Mario definitely has a connection with Tondi, and Riva's just kind of like a ploy, a backstepper. And that obviously then leads Tondi now to even consider Darren. Which is, I never saw it coming, but I did see the fact that Darren, remember he's already tried to play with Nina a little bit. I see that Darren's trying to open his options. Why? Probably because of ego. Number one, because it's like, how can I not have other suitors? Number two, also as well, the dog situation with Ashima, which is probably going to cause problems for her. And I think number three, also with that as well, I think, it is getting to that stage of the competition where you need to keep all your cards close to your chest, because you need to make sure that you have power to play. And I think obviously with the last conversation about the dog situation, I think with Darren, that's probably made him want to reach out to Tondi. And Darren's a really cool guy. He's got a lot of energy, great conversationalist. I always see him dropping little bars, like, when you drop a little, we'll go into it next time anyway. He dropped a little bar on Tondi, and I was like, yeah, this guy knows how to drop a little bar. He dropped the same bar on Nina too. Yeah, so I really appreciate that. So yeah, guys, make sure you stay locked and loaded. Look out for the next video we're going to drop. Yeah, we appreciate you. Stay locked, stay loaded. Are you mad, you lean, baby? Get it in, baby.